Stranger in the Night, a comedy by Stan Matthews. The players are Dennis Busse as Paul Watson, a retired widower, Madelyn Busse as Grace Johnson, a widow and his longtime neighbor, Scott Dow as P.D. Carlson, a neighbor and self-appointed neighborhood watch person, and Duvie Dow as Jill, P.D.'s spouse. It's 1 a.m., and Grace has just entered Paul Watson's darkened house. She's walking stealthily through the living room when Paul turns on the room lights.
Grace?
You have to ask? I've been your neighbor for 30 years.
It's 1 a.m.
I didn't think you'd still be awake.
Are you all right?
You mean mentally?
Don't you think this is unusual behavior?
I passed my last dementia test with flying colors.
Why are you here?
I've come here several times. Once when you were at home. That was right after you gave Howard and me your key for safekeeping.
That was 30 years ago.
And in all that time, you've never changed the locks.
This house hasn't changed much in all that time. My life has, but not the house.
Yeah, though the first time I came over, you and Emily were making love.
You listened in?
You were very sweet. She seemed hell-bent on getting pregnant.
Weren't you afraid you'd get caught?
I don't think I cared. Things were not going well for me at that time.
So you thought you'd do a little breaking and entering?
No breaking. You gave me the key.
I gave Howard the key.
Well, it's community property.
Look, I'm not being a very good host. Make yourself comfortable. Can I get you something? Can I make you a cup of herbal tea?
You used to keep some wonderful brandy. I bought a bottle a few years back. It was terribly expensive.
Ah, brandy it is. Straight up?
Is there any other way?
When I saw you on the security camera, I thought you must either be in trouble or that you lost your marbles.
You thought I was looking for my marbles?
I probably shouldn't confess this, but I fantasized that maybe you came over to slip into bed with me.
Well, just because I shaved my legs and put on some war paint doesn't mean.
Sorry.
I often wondered why you didn't come to my front door with flowers after Emily died. I mean, I did bring you a casserole after the funeral.
Fettuccine and tuna.
Yeah, well, where I come from, that's about as brazen as a woman can get. Short of coming up naked with a keg of beer.
I totally missed the signal.
You totally disappeared.
Chemotherapy. I moved in with my son and his wife while my hair fell out, and then the quarantines.
Well, how did they feel about having the old man in their house?
Oh, they have a huge place. They actually won the lottery.
I don't think I knew that.
I think they were happy to have someone to care for. It gave purpose to their suddenly posh, drone-like lives.
Yeah, well, while you were away, you had that couple, Jesus and Maria.
Yeah, Jesus and Mary. They took care of the yard and kept an eye on things when I was gone.
Yeah, well, I used to like to come over late at night. Felt like a sanctuary. The bathroom light scared the hell out of me the first time it came on all by itself.
I set a timer on the lights. It kept the place from feeling so lonely.
Houses do have feelings, don't they? I'm leaving my place forever tomorrow. It's not easy.
I saw the for sale sign, but I didn't know you'd be leaving so soon.
Our houses are so close, but we've not been. I figured if I was going to make a move on you, I better hobble across the street tonight.
Well, you do look amazing.
Is there any more of that brandy?
Yes, thanks to my son, the gazillionaire.
Thank you.
How's your little girl?
Susie, she's a grown-up now. Doing grown-up things, getting restraining orders, going to therapy, getting inspirational sayings tattooed on her breasts.
She was the sweetest little Girl Scout cookie seller I ever met. You would stand on the sidewalk while she gave her pitch.
Yeah, well, she hated being supervised. In fact, she agreed to take charge of my move, but only if I'm not around to look over her shoulder.
Where are you moving to?
Well, Sun City. I leave at noon tomorrow.
I've heard that Sun City is a great place to grow, or to be old.
Yeah, well, my friends there tell me it's a hot dating scene if you're not fussy about gender. You guys all die so young.
Don't look at me. I outlived my wife.
Tell me, if you knew, as we sit here, that this was your last night on Earth, what would you want to do?
You aren't planning to kill me, are you? I'm sorry, I just don't know how to answer. I'm not a religious person, so I wouldn't be tempted to pray my way into the hereafter.
Let me ask it another way. What would you do if you found a lonely, scared woman with freshly shaved legs in your living room in the middle of the night?
I would try to comfort her.
And her legs?
I'd comfort them too.
So, would you start comforting her right away, or would you make her wait for a certain length of time?
I'm sorry. This is so awkward. This doesn't happen very often.
Not often? I was kind of hoping it would be the first.
No, I mean the dating scene.
Oh, Paul, if this is your idea of a date.
Hello? I've got a gun. Who's in here?
Good God, Petey. Are you going to hold us up?
Paul? Are you all right? Jill says she saw someone sneak in here.
It was me. Were you the morality squad?
I don't understand.
Well, in the beginning, God created man and woman and said, don't eat the apple if you don't want to do the nasty.
What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, Paul, explain it to him.
Everything's all right. Grace is moving out of her house tomorrow. It's late, but she came over to say goodbye.
Jill enters through the open front door.
Grace is moving out?
Jill, I told you to stay at home to call the cops if I didn't give the all clear.
I already called them. I was worried about you.
But the cops are coming? For God's sake, Petey!
They seemed concerned when I told Petey has a gun.
You told him I had a gun?
They asked if anyone was armed. I couldn't lie to them, could I?
Call them back and tell them everything is okay.
Okie dokie.
Sorry, like I said, Jill told me she saw someone sneak in when your lights were off. And when I checked, your front door was unlocked.
I appreciate your concern, but it's really late.
No problemo. I feel like it's my duty to.
Petey, have you ever heard the term coitus interruptus?
Well, it's... Oh, God. You were? I didn't think. I mean, you guys are like old.
Yes. This is Jill Carlson. I called a few minutes ago about the break-in. Well, everything is all right. You didn't need to... Really? Okay, but yes. Petey still has the gun, but... Right. 4 people, 3 plus an individual with a gun. Okay. They said someone will call right back.
Why?
Wow, there's like a dozen cops out there.
Please stay in your houses. Stay clear of this area. We have an active hostage situation.
Hello? Yes, we're all fine. I already told the other man. What? Yes, 3 plus the person with the gun. But the gunster is actually my... Okay, hang on a second. They say they need to talk to the person with the gun.
Remember to tell them about God and the apples.
This is Petey Carlson. And first off, let me say that I'm 100% behind you guys. It's a Sig Sauer 9mm, like you guys use. Oh, really? Well, the guy at the gun shop said, yes, I just have the one, but I'm not planning to shoot anybody.
I think this is the most exciting thing that's ever happened in this neighborhood since I moved in.
So, have you and Paul, all this time?
No, actually,
Hey, guys, but the police would like all of you to go outside one at a time with your hands up.
what the hell?
They think you're hostages. Let's go with it. All right? Okay, I'm getting them ready. Here they come. You first, Grace.
Absolutely not. This is Paul's house. She'll go last and add to the drama.
Look, I've just about had enough.
Out the door, big fella, before that SWAT team cuts loose with a tear gas.
The what?
Petey pushes Paul out the door.
Don't push me. Just don't push me.
Get your hands in the air, now.
Don't tell me what to do. This is my house.
Get him on the ground, fast.
Paul! Oh!
Uh-oh.
Scene 2. On rise in the living room of Paul's house, Paul is lying on the couch with a cloth covering his forehead and a blanket covering his lower body. Grace is tending to him. Jill and Petey are standing near.
Listen, I'm really sorry, but I was worried about you. I tried to keep an eye on the neighborhood.
Please stop talking. It makes my head hurt.
You mean swell. I think it was those awful stormtrooper in their riot gear. I mean, they could have killed us all.
I think we should sue. I bet they would offer a big settlement just to keep this out of court.
Petey, what part of shut the fuck up do you not understand?
Maybe we should go home.
What a magnificent idea.
But you're going to be gone tomorrow. Will we have a chance to say goodbye?
Why wait? You can do it now.
Okay. It's been a blessing to have you as our neighbor. I hope you'll find happiness wherever you go.
Yeah. Goodbye.
I'm sorry they took your gun.
Thanks.
Jill and Petey exit through the front door. Jill locks it behind them and goes over and sits next to Paul.
What's it like being tased?
It's actually kind of like sex. Really, really bad sex in a Turkish prison.
I didn't know you'd ever been in a Turkish prison.
Only by projection.
You should have let them take you to the hospital and get checked out.
I couldn't. You're leaving town tomorrow.
So is that a big deal for you?
I know this is crazy, but I think I love you.
I'm pretty sure that's 50,000 volts of taser therapy talking.
I love that you had the guts to sneak into my house at 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been so
So lonely.
disconnected.
You sure you're all right?
I'm fine. Actually, the excitement is kind of exhilarating.
Then why aren't you touching me?
I've forgotten how.
Well, you remember the hokey pokey? You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out, you put your right hand in, and you shake it all about. We need to work on that.
I'm game.
I can't promise you 50,000 volts.
Maybe we could work up to it.
baby girl. Do you realize it's 4 a.m.? Of course I'm fine. Where are you? Oh dear. I'll be right there. She drove all night to get here. She's standing next to my bed, wondering why I'm not in it. I think I'd better go. Thank you for one of the most memorable nights of my life.
But
If you ever get to Sun City, look me up.
should I bring a casserole?
Only if it's homemade. I don't go for takeout.